everybody, it's me, Trader Max, and we're here with our favorite coin, Kitty, here on July 23rd. And right around 11:51 a.m., we're in after a long night of doing some stuff. Let me tell you, the market has been doing really well with Kitty as well, because there's been a lot of stuff going on, which is awesome. As of yesterday, we hit our marks. We got in at $15. We're over 34. We're 2x right now. And again, this money doesn't really matter down here for me. It's more that I'm in at a particular level and letting this just kind of moon. I did take profits off once I hit these levels. We still have enough coin to be at this point. I also do trading on this coin off camera as well. So I'm showing you the minimum side of it because I'm not here to pump a bunch of stuff for you. Plus, I don't want you to do what I do as far as the amounts that I do, because that's my risk to ruin. This is the lowest risk to ruin that I could do. If you don't know what risk to ruin is, I'll be doing some videos on that as well. But let's jump into what happened and where we're at. This is awesome. This pullback and this giant whale thing that happened that pushed us up into another division, that's all you need to know about. That this got pushed into another divisional channel. Before, the coin was down between 190 and 80, right? This is like a 2x factor of division, which is fucking amazing, by the way. And then once it got injected upwards, because I was, if it was going to come back down and buy in and come back up, I'm going to show you a trend validator system here that we're going to be able to do and work with this. Now, I know some of you go, it doesn't matter because there's all these outside influences, all these other things. Nope, that's bullshit. Human element is still human element. You know, the crew of the community, what you do and how you do it, you're the commodity, right? No matter what you're doing, the owners, everybody, I can depict what's going to happen unless there's inside information. I mean, if you're going to have a party and you're going to have 50 investors in the room, I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down at that point, right? But I can tell you after this is established, right, and I see a pattern of movement and you're doing things on a daily basis, yes, you better believe I can depict and this is what I've done, and I've made good money doing this. I've even made pretty decent money on Kitty as we've been doing this. Not in the traditional pump and dump kind of mentality where you hurt a bunch of people, but trading the market for real by using actual narratives of trading. Okay, that's where I make my money. I can also make money in the beginning and making coins and doing all that, but where we're here now is in this new division. So celebrate yourself, give yourself a round of applause. If you're part of the Kitty crew, you've done a great job of rating and keeping that up, keeping the knowledge in, getting new holders, and increasing of holders is awesome, right? Because that means that there's constant movement. So the push up, we got up to a base of 316. I mean, we probably went a little higher, 327, but the new resistance area, okay, here, remember, it's not a line, it's a band, right? And it is pushed off, you get the, oh, I made my money, I'm out. Boom, and then off they went, right? But then it reestablished. And I want you to look. Do you see this line right here? That's your true value. That's your true descending trend now. Your real value of resistance is probably more like right here, because you got to get the whoever had the abundance here and sold off here. This is your true value here, right? That's where it really is, that 287. And I would even say 300, right? Because it's a zero mark. That's a real powerful mark, is 300, okay? So keep that in mind. As this trend starts to descend a little bit, you'll get some markers in here. And I'm gonna fade in a little bit. I'm on a 5-minute chart at this point, so I'm not gonna try to get into daily traffic here. But if I go over to 15 marker, this starts to make more sense, right? And on our 15-minute, we can now depict out 5 or 6, even 24 hours of where this is going to go without other eventful markers happening, right? So keep that in mind. Lastly, let's just do some quick movement predictions here. We're going to be looking at this down mark. So right now we got 1, 2, and 3. And in between these two, let's just call this the mean, right? In between these two, we want the mean to be right about here. And you can kind of see this, right? And we know that could be even a little higher. I could probably even bring it to where it's at right now. This event might be happening right now. We don't know, right? If this next one comes out to be a little bit higher, let me scroll in so you can see this a little bit more. Okay. Okay, you see how it's come down? So we don't really count this one as a descending trend or a marker of level because there's so much volume happening. Big volume, big sell-off, right? So that's one thing. So what we really look for is this value of descending trend. That right there. And we put it on the tops here because we want this is bouncing off, it's coming down. And once it passes the mean, okay, this is the high, this is the low of the market, and this is the mean, right, the middle. Once it passes down here, this becomes like a little sub-resistance area, but it's also acting as support now. So bounce off. We're going to take this out, this little descending triangle that's happening here. Once it gets down to here, it's either going to push down and come down right about in here, another mid-level mean, right? There's a little subdivision. Or if it closes out above here, this is where I'm going to be buying from here because it's going to push up at that point on a natural capability. Trade low, trade like 0.2, 0.3, whatever you can afford, right? And once it gets up to this level, look for small movements, right? Now, here's the thing. You're not going to make a lot of money from moving from 263 to 300. You know, you're not going to 2 times your X and all that kind of nonsense, but you're going to make a couple bucks. You're going to solidify your stuff. And how much is that? How much is that hour or two? Because you're looking at, I'd say 1, 2, so about 4 hours. You're waiting on that. You start learning how to do this. You can now utilize that information to increase your volume. Now, I have an algorithm. C plus V equals G. And this is called consistency plus volume equals goal. When you start consistently being able to depict a natural movement in a chart, don't think that this is all volatile for a reason. There's a reason why I'm able to do it 90% of the time, right? This makes me a very good trader at this level. And I'm doing very well, especially now that I'm back into this market again and doing this, because we sort of know some of the stuff that's going on as well. So this descending trend, if it pops down in here, we're now going to have to wait a little while. And you might get to another point where this will start to rear its head again, unless you get another whale or another big point to push in, and they're going to come in. Avoid these like the plague. Avoid this like the plague, right? Yeah, you could have probably bought in once you see a big sell-off like this. But again, there wasn't enough information for me to be relative here, right? If that happened down here, a big push and a big bat down in here, but it kind of kept this movement, I would have been okay. I could have traded a couple times in here and made a couple $100. Because what does that mean? Well, instead of doing a half a soul, I'll do 2, or I'll do a whole soul. And I'll let it come up and climb up. And what's half of that, right? So the division of from here to here, I would probably make about 50, 60, 70 bucks if it climbs up, right? I make that, I'm out. And in an hour or 2 hours, I made 70 bucks, $35 an hour. If I want to make more, I put more down. But listen, don't start putting those heavy numbers down in the very beginning. Learn how to read the chart. I'm going to be creating a charting course, which will get out to everybody. I know this is a little bit longer video. I don't want them too long in here because it's just me teaching and preaching, right? But I hope that you got something from this. I'm going to be getting in my main moon bag of $15 from the original video is still sitting here. This is my TraderMaxx account for when I do videos. When I do my other stuff, I do have video proof of the other stuff that I've done, but I'm not releasing that just yet. That'll go into our secret series of, you know, how Max really trades behind the scenes. I trade the same way, just with more volume. Gotcha? All right, I'll see you next time. I'm Trader Max, and as always, trade well.